Hi guys and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through a dynamic Pilates reformer workout. As always, please take things at your own pace. I'll give a couple of modifications along the way, but just do the best you can and rest if you need to. You're going to need your ring and your ball. The ball will be using more as a headrest than anything, so if you have a reformer with a headrest, you probably won't need to worry about the ball. Let's just start by getting our springs ready. So we're going to be setting them as one red, a blue and a yellow if you'd like that beginner version. And if you wanted something more challenging, then go for 2 red and a yellow springs. We're going to start by grabbing your ring and just lying on your back. And can we put our feet into one end of the ring, please? And your hands will hold on to the other end of the ring. And what we're going to do is stretch the backs of the legs here. So bending one leg at a time, nice and slowly, kind of like we're walking out our legs. And you should feel a nice stretch down the back of each leg there. We're about to take one of our legs out of the ring. So take that left foot out of the ring and place the heel on the foot bar and start to press your carriage away. We're going to continue stretching the other leg in the ring. So the left leg is pressing, bend the knee, and then straighten the knee. Breathing out as we extend that leg straight. And check your knee alignment. We want the knee in line with the toes. And keeping your tailbone and your hips nice and heavy on the reformer. We're about to come into pulses. And ready, set, let's pulse halfway in, nice and slow through that knee, getting a little bit of a burn through your thigh. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's wriggle onto our toes now and start our leg press again. So still on the left leg, just pressing out and bending in. But now obviously we're on our tippy toes. Try and lift your heel up as high as possible. You're keeping that other leg as straight as you can achieve in the ring. And I've got an underhand grip to open up through my chest and shoulders. You've got your last 3, 2, and 1. Straighten that leg. Now we lower the heel and lift the heel, moving through the ankle only, trying to work the calf a little bit more. And we're going to be coming into our prancing horse next. You've got another 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to bring both feet onto the foot bar and bring the ring to your chest. Push those legs out. We're just going to walk through the legs. One leg will bend and the other leg will be straight, stretching through those calves one at a time. This is like a nice reset. You might even like to squeeze the ring with your hands as well. Feel free to slow it down if you need to. Last 3, 2, and 1. Bringing that carriage all the way in. Now we're putting our right heel on the foot bar and our left foot in the ring. Start to press away from your right heel with our footwork through that right leg. Checking your knee alignment, right knee over toes, and exhale as you press that carriage away. Just stretching out through the other side, keeping your left leg as straight as you can achieve. And remember, hips are heavy. We've got those pulses coming up shortly. In 3, 2, and 1. Let's pulse halfway in, nice and controlled. Working in the mid-range, feeling that leg burn a little bit more. Last couple here, then we're onto the toes. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring that carriage in, wriggle onto your right toes. lift the heel and start pressing away again. So now we're working the other leg, keeping your heel elevated as high as you can, like you're wearing a high-heeled shoe. We're coming into our calf raises in 3, 2, and 1. Straighten that right leg and start to lower and lift your right heel. Just moving through the ankle joint, getting your calf working now. Beautiful. We're coming into our glute bridges after this exercise. And let's close the carriage in. You're going to thread your legs into the ring like you're putting on a skirt. Have your heels on the foot bar and then start to lift your hips up off the reformer. Then you can lower your spine down, hips back on the reformer. We want to lift one bone at a time up off the machine and then one bone at a time back down on the machine. Try and keep some tension out against the ring with your knees. And we want to keep the machine nice and still, or as still as you can achieve today. Thinking about pushing the knees forward or thinking about pulling the carriage in using the back of the legs. Arms are just down by your sides. We're going to be finishing off this bridge with some pulses. Just a couple more here. Pulsing in 3, 2, and 1. Hips up, and let's pulse in the top range. Nice little dips up and down, squeezing your bottom as you lift. Last 3, 2, and 1. Lowering your spine down nice and slow. You can take the ring off, feet on the foot bar, and start to rock your knees from side to side. Slowly getting that twist through the spine and the hips. We're about to sit up and change our springs. So when you're ready, we're sitting up and we're going to change our springs. We're also going to need your squishy ball. So the squishy ball is going to go on your headrest to be your pillow. Okay. 1 red spring for beginner, and then intermediate will be 1 red and a yellow. So beginner is 1 red. Let's lie on your left side to start, head on the ball. Wriggle your bottom back as much as you can so you've got room for your knees on the carriage. And then make sure your hips are stacked. And we're going to put the long loop on your top right foot. Then straighten that right leg out towards the foot bar, nice and long. We want to check that our spine's in neutral, hips are stacked. We've got a nice long line through our hips and spine. From here, we bend that top knee and then straighten the top leg. So bend to 90 degrees. The knee comes in front of the hip joint, and then you press the leg to straight. Almost like we're making a tabletop position when we bend the knee. And we're aiming to keep the rope just in front of your shin and kneecap as we bend the leg. When you straighten your leg, you're pressing through your heel and you're trying to squeeze your bottom. We're also trying to keep our hips nice and still. Keep that foot at foot bar height if you can. That's ideal. Very soon we're going to come into a frog press. Your bum should be starting to switch on a bit more now. And last rep here. This time let's turn your knee and toes up to the ceiling. So you've opened up through your hip, knee and toes point up to the roof. From there, we're going to start to bend the knee again, but now your knee and toes point up, and then press the leg out towards the foot bar again. Still keep your foot high above that foot bar. Try not to kick your foot behind you. See if you can kick it maybe slightly forward towards the corner of your foot bar. You should really get a good glute burn now. Breathe out as you press that leg out. And when your knee bends, it stops in line with your hip. It doesn't come any closer to your chest. And just remember that it's okay to take breaks throughout this session if you need to. This is a faster paced workout, so you're going to probably feel a little bit tired pretty quickly. We're coming into our last couple of reps. Next, we'll have a straight leg in 3, 2, and 1. Straighten that leg. And let's sweep the straight leg forward. Then bring your straight leg back to the foot bar in line with your body. Then the leg goes to the roof and back down to the foot bar. So we're drawing an L shape. 1 sweep forward, 1 sweep upwards. Leg goes forward and then back. Leg goes up and then down. When your leg goes up to the roof, you can turn your toes up if that feels better. Try and keep your hips as still as you can though. We don't want to roll forward as the leg goes forward. And it's all right to work in a smaller range if that feels better for you. For some people, this feels like a stretch, and for others, the glute and hamstring really switches on a lot more. We're nearly done with this leg set. All we've got left are some little circles. Last one here. And let's just circle that leg out at the foot bar height, whichever direction you like first. We'll do a few circles this way and reverse. Try and do your circles the opposite way. Just coming into your last 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can relax there and take the loop off your foot. And then we're going to sit up and come into some mermaid stretches. We'll stay on the same springs. Now you might want to start by just sitting cross-legged. Okay, it's a bit easier to sit up that way. And then you're going to try and bring your left shin to touch your shoulder blocks if you can. So you're kind of sitting just over on your right hip. Alternatively, you can stack your knees one on top of the other like I'm showing you. So whichever version works for you, sit however you're able to achieve. When you're ready, right hand to foot bar, press the carriage away and reach overhead with the other arm. Then close the carriage and reach that right arm over to the other end of the reformer. And we're just going to keep moving from side to side, just stretching through our spine, working in that side bending motion. Please remember that you're welcome to change how you're sitting at any time. So you can change it to cross-legged or any other way that works for you. It's really that side bending motion we're focusing on through the upper body. Now on your next one, you're going to bring both hands onto the foot bar and you'll be turning your chest to face the floor. With straight arms, try and lift your chest up to bring the machine in. And then you'll lower your chest down again to move the machine out. So we just lift through the upper body and lower through the upper body. Thinking about sliding your shoulder blades down your back as your carriage slides in towards the foot bar. Just a gentle grip on the foot bar is okay. Feel free to move at your own pace here. It should feel quite nice through the spine, maybe a little bit stiff for some of you. We've got our last couple of reps, and then we'll start to work our core and upper body a bit more. Beautiful, finishing off there. Now we're going to turn to face your foot bar. Knees come to the carriage, hands onto the foot bar, and feet in your shoulder blocks. Have your spine in a straight line like a plank. Then move with your arms pushing your carriage out, and then slide your carriage back in again, keeping your arms straight. Slide the carriage away, and then slide it back in again. So I call this one a wheelbarrow, but people do call it different things as well. Some people also call it a long stretch on the knees. But think about hinging through the shoulder joint, moving yourself out with the shoulder joint, and keeping that nice kind of plank position through your spine as you move. We are about to add a knee stretch onto this as well. Now on your next rep, hold that carriage out, pause. You're going to bend those knees to tuck in and then stretch the knees out again. So that's your knee stretch, knees tuck and knees straighten. Keeping our back fairly flat, poking your tailbone out behind you. Arms are still. We're about to put those two movements together, so the long stretch into the knee stretch. And slide the carriage in. Now let's put it together. We go out for the long stretch, then the knees bend, knees straighten, and then come forward using your arms. So you go arms push out, knees tuck, knees push out again, and then slide your body forward over the foot bar. So it's one of each, just your nice little combo. We're about to change this up into kind of like a push-up next. And we're going to start by sliding your carriage out like a long stretch, then bend your elbows chin over foot bar and then press up. So go out with straight arms, bend your elbows to come forward and then push up. We're keeping the lower body nice and still, keeping that plank type position, but your arms are the ones that are going to bend and move. You can stay this direction if you're happy with this circular push-up direction, but you can reverse it to make it harder, which is what I'm doing now. So going down to the foot bar first makes it trickier, but either direction will work quite well for you. We're about to finish just with a regular push-up down and up in 3, 2, and 1. Just a normal push-up, chest goes down to the foot bar and then press up again. You go down and up and down and up. Feel free to close the carriage to make it easier if you need to. Breathe out as you press up and only go as low as you can achieve today. Just try and do a couple more. We've got 3, 2, and last 1. Beautiful. We're going to sink back into our child's pose now. Take a nice little break. What we're going to do now, or after this stretch, is come into our mermaids over on the other side, okay? So I'm still going to be facing you guys, but you're going to flip sides. So remember that you might want to start sitting cross-legged first, okay? And then what you're going to do is now bring your right shin to touch your shoulder blocks. So your right shin touches your shoulder blocks, okay? Then from here, it's going to be your left arm that's resting on the foot bar, and your left arm's going to slide you away, reach your top arm overhead, and then coming back the opposite way. So now we're just facing the other way and doing the other side. Beautiful. Remember, you can change how you're sitting if you need to, just like we had that option on the other side. And we're just working side to side in our side bending or in our mermaid. And on your next one, we're going to bring both hands onto the foot bar, turning your chest to face the floor. So when both hands are on the foot bar, you're going to lift your chest up to bring the carriage in, and then lower your chest down to slide the carriage out, getting that nice extension through your spine. Remember, we're trying to keep your elbows straight. And only move as much as you can achieve. Not everyone is able to close the carriage here, so do the best that you can. After we've done the mermaids on this side, we've just got to even out through our legs. And let's leave it there for our mermaids. Beautiful. Let's pick up our ball again for our legs on the side. We should still be on the same springs, but now we're going to be lying on our right side. So your top leg will be your left leg. So we're lying on our right side. Wriggle your bum back, make space for your knees on the carriage, and let's put your long loop onto your top left foot. So now we should be working the other leg, which you haven't done yet. Straighten that top leg out to the foot bar. Check that your hips are stacked and your spine is nice and neutral. From here we bend the knee bends to 90 degrees, and then press that leg nice and straight, pushing your heel to the foot bar. You're trying to keep your hips as still as you can for this first set. That would be great. You might also want to think about trying to get a little gap under your waist between your side body and the carriage. Always keeping your leg at about foot bar height, and the knee will stop in front of the hip, and the rope is in front of your shin and kneecap rather than all tangled around your leg. Very shortly, we're coming into our frog press, where we turn the knee and toes up. Almost there, guys. And last 3, 2, and 1. You're going to turn your knee and toes to the roof, open through the hip, and start to bend that knee and press it out again. So our knee still bends, just stopping in line with the hip, but now we've got the knee and toes turned up. Your rope will probably travel on the inside of your knee here. Still keeping your foot above the foot bar. And you're probably going to get a really good burn through that butt cheek as we're kicking. Last 3, 2, and 1. We're going to straighten our leg now. Sweep that leg forward towards your screen and then back to the center. And then the leg goes up to the roof and back down to the foot bar. So we go forward and then back to the foot bar, then up to the roof, toes up and down to the foot bar. More of an L-shaped movement through that leg. It's not a circle, it's just one up, one down. Beautiful. Always coming back into the center line of your body. Remembering you're allowed to turn your toes up and open your hip as your leg goes up. Really trying to lengthen out through those muscles in the legs. You might feel a stretch, but you also might feel your bum still working quite hard. It does depend on the person. And last one, coming into our foot bar height. Let's start our little circles here, nice and small, just do a few in each direction. We're going to reverse in 3, 2, And one, try the other way, just a short set of our circles. Beautiful. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can take your leg out of your loop. Amazing. We should feel like our legs have had a pretty good workout, so you might like to sit up and we'll have a bit of a stretch all together. Just pop one foot on the opposite knee, okay, and we'll stretch through that glute. You may like to lean forward or you might just like to sit here. We'll just hold it on this side. And then you can change over to the other leg, other foot on the opposite knee, and just sitting there, or maybe leaning forward if that feels better for you. Thank you so much for joining in today. You guys are all done. If you did like this video, please like it, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.